Characteristics of Chinese electronic warfare. Shenyang J16D and Pakistan. The Shenyang J16D is an aircraft designed for electronic warfare. Not only can it jam radars, destroy them over long distances, but it can also be equipped with PL15 and PL21 missiles for aerial combat. Thus, this aircraft is included in the multi-role category. The J16D is actually an electronic warfare variant of the Shenyang J16. According to China, the aircraft used more composite material and radar-absorbent paint on its body. Thus, this aircraft is light as well as stealthy. The Chinese also say that the radar cross-section of this aircraft is very low. Information about the radar cross-section is not available. Moving on to more information about the Shenyang J16D, this aircraft lacks infrared sensors and a 30mm gun. It is clear that this aircraft is designed to fight the enemy from a long distance and will not be used for dogfighting. Electronic warfare antennas on various parts of the body of the aircraft have been installed. The nozzle of the aircraft has been changed to possibly install advanced AISA radar. Authoritative details are not available regarding the range of its AESA radar, but China not only calls it PL15. Rather than equipping the PL21, it is definitely equipped with a wider range of radar. In my opinion, the range of its radar can be from 350 km to 400 km or more. Another change that can be seen in this aircraft is the presence of electronic warfare pods on the wingtips that are not present in the first version Shenyang J16. You will understand later what role they play in a war or an operation. The aircraft is equipped with different and advanced avionics than the J16. Since the J16D is an electronic warfare aircraft, it also carries 2 to 3 jamming pods. Why could the Pakistan Air Force need a dedicated electronic warfare aircraft like the Shenyang J16D? Many, including us, want Pakistan to spend on the JF-17 Thunder program and project commitment, and to refrain from buying more aircraft. But let me make it clear that what the J16D can do, the JF-17 Thunder cannot do, and that the 5th generation aircraft in the project commitment still needs a long time to become operational. Now the question arises, why can't JF-17 Thunder do what Shenyang J16D can do? The JF-17 Thunder is a light combat aircraft, and uses a single engine. The aircraft cannot be equipped with the radar used in the J16D, because one engine is not enough to power such avionics and other electronic warfare systems. Secondly, JF-17 carries very little payload. The J16D can be equipped with air-to-air, anti-radiation missiles and 2 to 3 jamming pods simultaneously. JF-17 Thunder can't carry it all together. In short, this requires a heavy-duty aircraft, not a light combat aircraft. JF-17 can defend itself with a jamming pod, but to carry out an electronic attack you have to carry different pods for different radar frequencies, and paralyze the enemy air defense missile system. It is clear that we cannot take this task from JF-17, so we need a dedicated electronic warfare platform like Shenyang J16D. India is busy improving its air defense system, and if you look at the electronic warfare aircraft in the possession of the Pakistan Air Force, the Pakistan Air Force currently uses the Falcon 20, which on the one hand are insufficient in number and on the other hand are not armed. These planes do not have the same speed as other fighter jets. When aircraft are sent to the enemy country for air operations, these aircraft are most at risk from the enemy's air defense missile system, so the enemy air defense system is paralyzed first in the relevant area, which specific aircraft do. Then the rest of the planes go into enemy territory and operate. Now, you will be told how aircraft like Shenyang J16D work on such an occasion. The J16D is equipped with various pods for anti-radiation missiles, long-range air-to-air Missiles and electronic warfare. As soon as they enter enemy territory, electronic warfare pods on the ski wingtip begin to detect enemy electronic devices and process the frequencies of air defense radars and send them to the aircraft's central computer system. Sends information to jamming pods. And then the jamming pod jams this specific frequency. This is an electronic attack on an enemy air defense system. Now, if needed, the Shenyang J16D can destroy the air defense system by launching an anti-radiation missile. During this operation, if the enemy blows up their planes, the J16D can not only deal with the ground threat but also eliminate the air threat before raising its head. Because it will be equipped with air-to-air missiles that can hit from 300 to 400 kilometers. So this is the role Shenyang J16D plays when your air force goes to an enemy country and operates. I think it is important to mention here that at this time Pakistan also needs aircraft to counter the Rafale, so in this regard also J16D is a great option. As for the jamming pods that carry the J16D, the details are not available. However, it must be said that China is using the same technology in these gaming pods. This is information that has been made public so far. And you know that China does not disclose most of its weapons information. So from what I said about this plane can be much more dangerous than that. Besides, you know that the United States is leaving Afghanistan now, and once it leaves, it will no longer need Pakistan. And as far as I know, we may have problems maintaining the F-16 flat. It doesn't have to be this way, but it is possible, and if it does, the Pakistan Air Force will have to find a solution. Because the spare parts of F-16 Fighting Falcon are not manufactured in Pakistan. The United States could create problems for Pakistan in the days to come. That is because on the one hand the United States is against the CPAC. And on the other hand it is providing a strong defense system to the countries that are against China. The example of Taiwan and India is in front of you. Besides, Pakistan is one of the countries with which Russia is in contact against Quad. Then China and Russia are ready to fill the gap that will be created after the US leaves Afghanistan, and all this is impossible without the consent of Pakistan. Bear in mind that as soon as the United States leaves, the United States will openly be hostile to Pakistan. With all this in front of you, it is possible that the spare parts of the F-16 Fighting Falcon will stop appearing to us. Even so, owning one is still beyond the reach of the average person. As far as JF-17 Thunder Block 3 is concerned, this aircraft will definitely give a new impetus to the Pakistan Air Force, but we cannot replace every aircraft with JF-17 Thunder. The second aircraft that Pakistan is building to replace the F-16 Fighting Falcon is the 5th generation aircraft. But the plane still needs a long time to join the Air Force. If the United States suspends the supply of spare parts for the F-16 Fighting Falcon, our aircraft could begin to land in a few weeks. Therefore, the Pakistan Air Force will have to induct another aircraft until its 5th generation aircraft is ready and inducted. Which may be Chengdu J-10C, but whether it is F-16 Fighting Falcon or Chengdu J-10C, Pakistan Air Force needs to buy dedicated electronic warfare fighter jets. And as far as the Shenyang J-16D is concerned, the Pakistan Air Force should buy at least 2 of its squadrons. This is because the aircraft has an air superiority at the same time, and is capable of hitting ground targets over long distances. And what about its electronic warfare capabilities?